Welcome to another edition of Breaking News brought to you by Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will discuss the case of S2 Analytical Solutions LLC decided at the GAO. It's interesting because it addresses language often included in two-phase procurements executed under the authority of FAR 8.4. The language under discussion is, the government anticipates selecting the best-suited contractor from initial responses, without engaging in exchanges with contractors. Offerers are strongly encouraged to submit their best technical solutions and price in response to this RFQ. Once the government determines the contractor that is best suited, i.e., the apparent successful contractor, the government reserves the right to communicate with only that contractor to address any remaining issues, if necessary, and finalize a task order with that contractor. These issues may include technical and price and can require revisions to either the technical or price quotations. S2 took issue with the language and launched a protest against the agency's intended action. The protester argued that the solicitation language permits the agency to hold exchanges that are tantamount to discussions with only one vendor while not affording the same opportunity to other vendors as required. The protester argued that this arrangement allows the agency to treat vendors unfairly and unequally. The agency contends that the challenged solicitation language does not violate an applicable procurement law or regulation, and further argues that the language at issue is appropriate for use in a procurement conducted under the procedures of FAR Subpart 8.4, as opposed to the procedures of FAR Part 15. En route to finding against the protester, the court determined that, since FAR 15 procedures do not apply, the language in the solicitation was broadly fair in that all quotations were fairly considered and the award was made in accordance with the basis set forth in the RFQ. Further, the court determined that the procedure establishes a competitive range of one and enables the government to hold discussions with only that offerer. Moreover, they stated, as long as the agency reasonably and fairly evaluates vendors' quotations pursuant to these factors, we find the solicitation provision permitting the agency to then conduct exchanges with only the best-suited contractor does not amount to unfair and inequitable treatment of vendors. Ultimately, they ruled that the challenged provision is not contrary to any procurement statute or regulation governing the Federal Supply Schedule program. Then they made a very curious statement. They said, "Nothing in our decision here precludes a potential protester from challenging an agency's selection of a particular firm as the best-suited contractor." Now let's address a few of the lessons learned from this protest. They include: 1. The agency may pre-establish a competitive range of one under FAR 8.4 procedures. 2. GAO considers it fair treatment in FAR 8.4 to establish a competitive range of one offerer after fairly considering all quotes in accordance with evaluation factors. And 3. The offerer's status as the best-suited offerer can be challenged. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discussed the S2 Analytical Solutions case and the advisory Downselect and discussions in the FAR 8.4 environment and other acquisition principles associated with it. This concludes today's Source Selection Soundbite. If this video was helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any new material. If you want more details on the subject, they are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, sample documents, and more material that allows practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.